Watch out, this podcast may contain adult content. We're brought to you today by Altered Reality Entertainment, the creators of Empire State Comic Con. Check it out at escomiccon.com. And now, on to the show. Hello and welcome to On the Case Game of Thrones, the final episode ahead of the final season. Casey, what are we talking about today?
Today we're talking about just all the overall excitement and hype of going into the 8th season. It's this Sunday. It's freaking close. It's crazy. We've waited forever, and I'm just super pumped. And I've done everything I can think of to prepare myself for this, and I just kind of want it now. But I'm also like scared because my anticipation, my expectations are sky high. So
could it live up to them?
Better be amazing. Like, I know it's gonna be amazing because like I hang on every word that every character says in this show, basically. But I think it's really gonna be amazing, and I'm like scared to start it because I don't want it to be over.
Okay, so I want to start with, and I'm going to ask this question, and I'll answer myself real quick just so you have some time to think of it. But
Yeah.
What is, if you had to pick one thing, the one thing you're most excited about? So I'll start with what I'm most excited about, and it's for Jon Snow to ride a motherfucking dragon. So, like, here's the thing. Like, what I want is I just want a shot-for-shot recreation of the Hiccup riding a dragon for the first time scene from How to Train Your Dragon, but just with Jon on the dragon, and then, like, bring in Daenerys on Drogon. And, like, if they just do, like, a shot-for-shot remake of it, I'm good with that. Like, just 100%, the whole thing. Yeah. Just let's go. That's awesome. The number one thing I'm most excited about. Jon Snow riding a dragon.
My number one thing that I will be upset if I don't get, to some extent, some version of this, is I want Jon Snow, a.k.a. Aegon Targaryen, a.k.a. Azor a fucking High, to have a flaming goddamn sword, Lightbringer, and it has to be cooler than, like, Beric Dondarrion's sword. Like, Beric Dondarrion's sword, it's awesome because it's on fire, obviously. But I want this sword to, like, shine like fucking insane. I want it to be, like, engulfed in, like, 3 different colors of fire. Like, this thing needs to look way better and cooler, like, different. And I want him to 1v1 the Night King. I hope that he's riding a dragon, and I hope the Night King's riding a dragon, and they get, like, knocked off their dragons, or like their dragons like collide and they fucking
they're like, jousting. They're like jousting, and the dragons like headbutt, and then they both fly at each other midair like it's freaking Matrix, and it's Neo and Mr. Smith flying at each other.
Like, no shit. Like, I want the dragons to like collide midair and like fucking like die, and like when they land, they make a circle, and Jon Snow and the Night King hit the fucking ground hard, and like they both like get up. And, like, no one can get to them. None of the White Walkers can get to them. None of the other people can get to them. It's, like, this fucking epic showdown. Either surrounded by fire,
you imagine?
Or
they fight
dragons.
They fight in the corpses of dragons, and then everyone, like, thinks Jon dies, but he, like, cut open a dragon and stayed inside of it like it was a tauntaun. Like, it waited out the winter inside of a dragon. Yeah. Okay. Next question like that. Who are you saddest to say goodbye to this season? So this could be actually, let's answer it in 2 phases. So someone who you think is very likely to die that we're going to have to say goodbye to. So that's part 1. And then part 2 is just a person who might live, who, like, at the end of the run, you're going to miss the most on television. So again, I'll give you that time to think, and I'll say mine up front for the first part. So first part, person who I definitely think is going to die, who I'm sad to say goodbye to, is Brienne of Tarth. That's the person that I'm saddest to see leave. And I have no foresight. I don't know this is going to happen, but just in my head, I feel like it's likely, and I feel like that one's going to hit me the hardest.
Yeah, I can see that, because seeing Brienne die, that's so weird to think of, because she's so epic and strong, and she's fought like some of the toughest people in the show. Like, it's just amazing to think that like something could kill her, and like the sound that's going to come out of her when she dies, like that. I don't know. I think, and it's dumb because like we've already lost a bunch of them, but like if I have to watch Ghost get fucking murdered, I'm going to be so sad.
That's a hard one.
Like, because I mean, if you ever hear the sound of like you stepped on a dog's tail, it's heart-wrenching. Like, it's just horrible. And I can still like remember what it was like when Summer got just like jumped into the white, mosh pit in the under the tree and just got fucking deaded so quick. And like, it's just, they're so strong and they're so awesome, but they're not invulnerable. And against the whites and the White Walkers, like, there's just not a whole lot they're going to be able to do. But I think he'll have a couple awesome moments, but I also don't think that he'll be alive after the show's over. And if I'm, just because of CGI reasons, and I think just like they're just not gonna have him in there a lot, and I think he's gonna sacrifice himself to save Bran or something dope at the end, or save Jon, and then Jon has to like watch him like get like pulled into like a mosh pit of whites or something. I don't know, like something's bad's gonna happen, dude, and I don't want to see it. Like, I'm gonna cry.
Okay,
he's so innocent.
Yeah, so someone who I think just because this is how Game of Thrones, like, it's just like they're I think Bronn's just gonna live just because kind of the cockroach survives the nuclear war kind of thing. So I think I'll be saddest. I think I'll be saddest personally to see Bronn gone just from TV. Like, just like not looking forward to that dude just being in my life regularly. So that's my like person who I think will make it to the end, who I'm just gonna be sad or I'll miss.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think, like, so Game of Thrones has brought us so many characters that there aren't really a counterpart to. Like, we make jokes like, oh, they're like, this one's like the Thor or whatever, or like
this is the Luke Skywalker
or the McGonagall or something. Like, you can take people from other fantasy universes and kind of plug them in to Game of Thrones for certain characters. Like, they just
Sam is the Sam, right?
Sam is the Sam, obviously. But there's some that just don't fit anywhere else. There's no character that quite encapsulates how I feel about some of these characters. And so I can't really pick one, but I'll just like quickly say Tyrion. There's no other Tyrion. There's no other Davos for me. And there's no other Cersei either.
Yeah, I was gonna when you started saying it in that way, like Arya as well. Like Cersei, Arya, they're all
the Hound too. Like, the Hound is so different, and like he's
I could see me missing
gruff as fuck, and like but he does like nice things sometimes. It's weird. It's like when he gives you like the slightest smile or like hint of like personal happiness. It's like you just like got a mountain of it because he's so guarded and different, and I love that. I love that he feels like a real person.
Okay, so is there then anyone you're not gonna miss?
I know you're gonna say.
You know exactly who I'm gonna say,
and you're a bastard because like he's so important. But I will say, if there's one person I'm not gonna miss, oh fuck, that's hard. You go first and just say Bran like a dick.
It's Bran. It's Bran. He's the worst. He's just the worst. I mean, man.
I don't miss Rickon, but he wasn't like barely in the show. Oh, you know who it is? Robin Arryn. I will not miss that nasty little titty sucking bitch. I hate that guy. He sucks.
Literally and physically.
Yeah, he literally, like, I know, like, he's gotta be Littlefinger's kid, because he just reminds me of Littlefinger's just like a snivelly, nasty little worm. I just want to crush his windpipe, I swear to God. I wanted Sansa to do it when he knocked over her snow castle.
Wow, I've never thought of that Robin Arryn could actually be Littlefinger's and not Jon Arryn's. That's interesting.
He's definitely Littlefinger's. Jon Arryn was so old that the chance of him having kids very low, and I believe that Lysa and him and Littlefinger were doing it the whole time. They were doing it when they still lived, as basically siblings back at what's the place? They were having fake marriages and stuff. So yeah, he's been playing her for decades, and there's no way that kid's not his kid. And just it makes sense with their weird relationship too, like that he hates everyone but his mom. Oh, except for Uncle Peter. Like, it's weird. I think it fits like a glove.
Okay, so you're not gonna miss Robin Arryn. All right, so let's go into some more of these like superlatives like this. Like, who do you think is gonna have the best battle moment of the season?
Ooh, I mean, I think it'll be Jon if he kills the Night King. But if we're going with like someone that's not the chosen one, basically, then I think, man, if they kill Grey Worm better have some dope shit. Like, he better like throw a spear with dragonglass tip and have it go through like 30 whites or something. They better give him like a blaze of glory to go out on. But I think maybe the one that I'm most excited to see what he'll do, what he'll contribute is um, is Jamie.
Okay. That was one on my list. I have two. So my first one is that for all the skill and I think, this is something that they do in movies like, in Last Jedi when Kylo does something and like the little samurai dudes all like pull out their lightsaber weapons for a second.
Yeah.
And then like, it's like that minor show of force that is going to pay off later in a major show of action kind of thing. And they've been building Arya up so much over the seasons, and we've never seen her in a battle. She's not at Watchers at the Wall. She's not at Battle of the Bastards. She hasn't been in any of these major field combat sequences. And I think that this is the time, and I think we're really going to have just like a mind-blowing set piece with Arya. And if it's not her, then it's definitely the Hound defeating his fear of fire and a dragon, or maybe he just gets burned up and we never get Clegane Bowl. But like, something like those are the two that I'm like, those will probably be the moments in battle that we're just going to remember. That's who I bank on.
Yeah, that would be amazing. And I love the Hound getting over his fear of fire because he lost someone right, because Thoros wouldn't have died if he hadn't have hesitated. And so
Brienne like gets killed because he was afraid of the fire, and then
or I think maybe Arya almost gets killed, and then he doesn't. He like thinks about hesitating, and then he goes in and fucks shit up. And also, if you think about it, Brienne's never been in a big battle either. She's been in small skirmishes, and she fought the Hound and stuff, and she executed Stannis, but like she wasn't in the Battle of the Bastards. Like she wasn't in any of those big battles. She's only like been 1v1, like she's the 1v1 champion right now, but she's never like had to be like surrounded and fight for her life against dozens or hundreds of people.
Girls pro at Mortal Kombat, but really sucks at Fortnite.
Yeah, like she's not a group RPG player. Like, I think she needs a little.
Gotcha. There. I feel you.
Yeah, but I think the Hound for sure is one of mine.
Okay, so we kind of addressed battle. Who do you think is going to have like the best either one-liner or speech? Because we always have these moments that we cling to, that those are brave men or let's go kill them. Like, so who's going to have like that one memorable, like sentence, speech, whatever that like we can just pull out and be like, hell yeah.
Okay, I have a really weird choice, so I'll let you go first.
Okay. I hope our weird choices are aligned. Samwell Tarly.
Yes, I love Sam. Yeah, I mean
that's my bet for speech of the season.
Wow. Well, I think that'd be good. I mean, I think if you're gonna have like a big, like we've talked about, like the big like Aragorn like becoming the king of Gondor at the end, like moment, like where he, like everyone who survived and like the world is now at peace, like he has like a big beautiful speech, like Jon could have one. That'd be really amazing. But mine is actually really weird. So I've been reading a lot of interesting articles about people thinking like, oh, what if Ned's still alive? And I don't think he will be. I don't think he'll be alive. I think that's cheap, and it takes away from what's already happened. And like, where was he? Why didn't he do what he could have done? Whatever. But I do think that Bran talks to Ned in the cells, because there's a scene where Varys comes in to talk to him, and like Ned like looks up, but it almost like you hear something, like you can't tell what you're hearing, but you hear something, and it almost seems like he was just talking to someone and he was interrupted. And so what I would love to see is maybe Bran dies, or maybe Bran loses his powers or something like that at the end. But before he does, I want him to just like go and tell Ned, like,
it's gonna be okay.
We lost a lot, but we saved the world, and the Stark name lives on. And and we all miss you.
And then maybe he even gets to say Jon knows who he really is, that kind of thing. Like that's the when we're all gonna just like start crying, and like he knows he's a Targaryen, the people know, they accept him, they love him, kind of thing, and we're all just like bawling our eyes out.
Yeah, so I think that would be an amazing full circle moment. So I give the nod to like not necessarily Ned or Bran, but like that moment, like
that moment, that being the thing. Gotcha.
Forever, that like no one saw coming. But it's totally in the realm of possibilities because of Brad's powers.
So just so you know that when we get to this, the end, when we do get there, I do want you to either say if there will be a throne and who will be on the throne. So I want to kind of finish with that, but let's do some more of these like little things. I think we should jump into who's probably going to be like have the funniest moment of the season, and it's got to be Tormund, I think, for me.
Yeah, it could be Torment. I think it could be like the Hound and Arya like reuniting or something funny. Um,
Okay, so yeah, let's jump down that rabbit hole then. Who's the what reunion are you the most excited for?
Jon and Arya, hands down.
Okay,
I have been forever, and like I was literally just rewatching the first season, and they haven't seen each other since the second episode. That's how long it's been.
it's
And he
crazy.
gave her needle, and they said goodbye, and he went to the Night's Watch, and she went south, and that's the last time. And so seeing them together, they had this super interesting, deep spiritual connection. Like, and she was so off center from like who she was supposed to be as a Stark, and so was he, that they just bonded, and I just love their relationship. So there's no one even close to that. But I'm also excited for like Tyrion and Sansa and stuff like that, and um, I think there's quite a few people that are gonna reunite, and it'll be interesting to see how it goes. Jaime and Bran could be really interesting because like Jaime could like be forgiven by Bran because he knows and whatever, and I think that'd be a really powerful moment for Jaime to like come to terms with like his sins of his past.
Uh, here's the thing, Casey. I mean, you're when you said that nothing else can compare to Jon and Arya, it's just you're absolutely wrong, my friend. Because the best reunion that needs to happen and is the most important is the audience and Ghost. God damn
I
it!
knew you were gonna say Ghost. God damn it, you beat me by a second. That's so funny.
I'm so mad. I'm so mad. I'm so
Oh, hey,
mad.
I know the meeting that I'm really excited for, the reuniting of Daenerys and Viserion when she gets to see her undead dragon coming to murder the shit out of her. That's going to be insane, dude. Like just think about the emotional ramifications of that moment. Cuz she's going to hear about it. Cuz Tormund and all them, they're going to tell like he came with an ice dragon. He's like, "Holy shit, he has my dragon." But when she sees it and hears it and watches it burn people alive with blue flame and has to go fight it, it's gonna be like
That'll
this
be cool as
horrible,
hell.
heart-wrenching moment. Holy shit. I want to talk about one thing I want to throw in because it's really important for this last season is I think I want two things. I want us to talk about who do we think the Night King's gonna be, or like what kind of like big story about like what the Night King's after is gonna like how that's gonna land, and also there's supposed to be one big last twist left. Where do we think it comes? Like which character or like which part of the story does it like reference or
Okay, so
pertain to?
then let's start with the Night King stuff then.
Yes.
I am gonna go with the Rey Last Jedi, and I'm gonna say the Night King was just a Northman, not a Stark, not anyone of importance. He was just the guy who was in the wrong place at the wrong time when the Children of the Forest started this bullshit.
And he doesn't have any connection to Bran. Bran doesn't become the
Nope.
Night King. Okay.
Nope. That would make me super angry.
Yeah, I don't think it makes sense for him to be a Targaryen. I don't like that at all because there weren't any fucking Targaryens in Westeros 8,000 years ago. Aegon the Conqueror came 300 something years ago. So it doesn't make sense timelines. Like they'd be totally, retconning shit. It could be a Northman. It could be like a proto Stark, like a Stark before there was a Stark.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think necessarily it's a person that's important. I think it's just I think it's interesting because I think that the person that is the Night King is pissed off that they're the Night King, and they're out for vengeance. And I do want to see like more about like what he's after. I think he's after Bran. Personally, I think he's more afraid of Bran than he is of Jon, and I think that's because Bran has not figured out his potential yet. I still am excited to find out what's the big thing Bran's gonna do. Like to this point, he hasn't done anything super worthwhile for all the heartache that he went through to become the Three-Eyed Raven. So far, he's been a glorified fucking security camera, and I want to know
And
what's his
like the
big
thing is just so
game-changing talent.
obvious. I think it's going to be whack and not pay off, man. And that's why I'm always so frustrated with it because
You're
it's just
wrong.
like you won't walk again, but you will fly. And if the only thing he does is warg a dragon, like, cool, man,
What if he
cool. We already knew you could
what if he
warg.
wargs the ice dragon, and so he saves everyone from being destroyed by the fucking ice dragon?
Well, sure, that's cooler, but still, I mean, yeah,
I think the
I'm so
only
out
thing
on
that
him.
makes sense is
I'm
his
jaded.
power is equal to or greater than the Night King's power, and he has to be able to like raise whites, like fire whites, like good, like people that are still themselves, like Jon and Beric. Like if he can raise them faster than the Night King can raise them to be fighting for the other side, then it'll be like this amazing like mental war back and forth. And
I do gotta
that'd
say,
be cool.
I do gotta say, it would be dope if like the Night King has defeated Jon, and in true Jon fashion, because everyone always wins his battles for him and he doesn't win them himself. In true Jon fashion, where like Jon's defeated and then like the Night King's like on the Ice Dragon, and then he's like, the Ice Dragon's like about to kill Jon, and then like the Night King's like, nah, I want to do this myself. So the homie hops off, and then he just like starts walking over to Jon slowly, and Jon's just like injured on like one knee or whatever, and like Ice King's coming to like stick his icicle like in Jon's throat or whatever, and then that's when Bran wargs the dragon, and then like the dragon just bites the Ice King in half.
How amazing
like,
would that be?
Dope.
Yeah,
that would be cool. That would be cool.
That'd
but
be
also
so sick.
all this time invested for just a warging of one dragon. Whack.
Yeah, I mean, look, I think it's got to be something that turns the tide 100%. Like if it's Lord of the Rings, it's the Ghost Army that comes in and just sweeps through and fucks shit up. Like it's got to be something completely that no one else could have done. Like Jon could kill the Night King, right? So it can't be that he kills the Night King. I think it's got to be Jon.
Okay, so
it's got to be something that turns the tide against the forces of evil.
All right, we did Night King. What was the next thing you wanted to go over?
There's one big final plot twist. What could it be? What do you think it pertains to, or who it pertains to? I think it could be what we
I think you kind of landed on it. I think you kind of landed on it last episode. The thing with Jaime doing the thing at the city gates kind of thing. I think that's it.
Yeah. I just feel like we'd see it coming too much. Like we'd know he'd kill her after what she's become.
Maybe something with Iron Bank of Bravos coming in and screwing up everyone's day in life, or I don't know. Who knows?
We'll get our due. That would be so crazy if like penny pinchers came and like destroyed fucking Westeros.
All right. Any final thoughts before we get to the throne stuff?
I think
who's on it.
I think the big twist will have something to do with Bran or the Isle of Faces. I think the symbols the White Walkers have made with bodies and stuff, and the ones that were on the cave drawings, have to do with the Isle of Faces. Back.
Gotcha. Jaqen comes back. That's the final twist. Jaqen comes back. The Night King is a faceless man. Yeah.
I want Howland Reed, the Isle of Faces. I want a few like children of the forest left over, and I want that symbol to mean something like that. Maybe that's where the secret to defeating them is, and Bran has to like go there or warg there or something.
All right. Well then, last questions. Then, who's going to be on the throne? Will there be a throne?
I don't think there'll be a throne. I think there'll be like a revolving throne, like
a council, and then like a Republic of the Seven Kingdoms.
Yeah, or maybe like
the United States of Kingdoms
of Westeros. Yeah, I like that better, but I do think that in the meantime, until the new system is like fully forged and good, that Jon and Daenerys will be there, or at least Jon. If it's not Jon,
interim rulers.
Jon. Yeah, they'll be the ones that like build this new world, because if she wants to break the wheel, and they both have been hurt by the injustice of this royalty system, I think it makes sense for them both to have a hand in building this new world. And who better to help them than Davos, Tyrion, and Samwell fucking Tarly, some of the best minds and most like trustworthy people on the planet. If you
that's a pretty good ending council. Yeah. That's a pretty good yeah.
Yeah. That would be the best way.
And I'm going to stick to my guns, and I'm going to say Gendry and Sansa.
Gendry and Sansa on the throne. The Gendry is a good dude, but he's not like smart or wise or like
the homie Baratheon. It's all right. It's all right. Man. The homie Baratheon will be on the Iron Throne.
Fuck no.
Jon and Dany are gonna go back to Essos and be like, cool, kick rocks, homies.
The truth of the whole story is that a Baratheon should have never been on the throne. Rhaegar didn't do what they said. It was all a lie.
Not in my eyes. The rightful king to me is Baratheons.
No fucking way. It's the Targaryens. They built the whole thing.
I know.
You're just trolling me at this point.
No, I'm not trolling. No, I think that Gendry will be on the throne and Sansa will be his queen. That's just what my brain tells me.
Yeah, just give him Storm's End and be over with it.
Yeah, I'm sticking with it.
Fair enough. I respect that.
All right, I think that brings us to the end of this final episode of On the Case Game of Thrones. The prequel series, the pre-series, before we get into the actual recaps, we'll be back.
I want one last thing. What are you doing the night of? Like, what are you eating, drinking? What are you excited? Like, are you doing anything special to get excited? Dressing up, whatever.
I'm watching the episode sadly in a hotel room on my laptop by myself because I'm in New York for an event. So I'll just be crying.
Okay. Well, you can
by
call me
myself.
while you're crying as long as the episode's over.
I'm
I've got the Oreo cookies with all the names on it. I've got the special beer in the big bottle with the throne on it. I've got all my nerdy glasses with all the house sigils on it and the coasters, and I'm gonna dress up and I'm gonna have fun, and I might get a little saucy, and it's gonna be a night that I've literally looked forward to for almost 2 years. It's
Rub it in, why not?
I cannot wait. And when you're here, we're gonna watch it, the third episode, which might be the best one of the season or the show. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. It's good stuff. All right, well, thank you for listening to On the Case Game of Thrones. Thank you for coming on this journey with us, and we'll be back to recap the show as the episodes roll out.
Oh yeah, all along the hype train. Let's get it. I'm
Bye, bye,
super
bye.
pumped.
All right, bye.